Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back with the second match of the Ritual of the Night Randomizer tournament, this time between Trixxy and Axel. Joined again by Maximus on co-coms. Hello, Maximus.
Hey, hey.
And there we go. Both Trixxy and Axel are off. Axel getting a little bit of a head start here. Perhaps paying closer attention to the race time room. But it's still very early. I did not get a chance to see Maximus. What was in that first chest? Did you get a look?
Oh, they kind of caught me by surprise moving as well. I won't lie.
Okay, we're gonna rely on chat. Hopefully it wasn't the Zangetsu toe or something equally important. If it was, we'll figure it out. Yeah. Now, this is the same type shuffle preset. To very quickly go over the basics, items are shuffled only among items of the same type. So swords with swords, red shards with red shards, etc. And we have not seen Trixxy or Axel yet this tournament, but I can tell you that I've raced against Trixxy before. They are a very technical player. Maximus, I believe you raced against Axel in the past, yeah? Maybe you can tell us a bit about their play style.
Actually, I believe this is their first time racing.
Right.
He has a background in other randos, like the Zelda randomizers, but other than that, we have not seen him race Bloodstained yet. So this would be the first time.
I see. That's actually very exciting. What a way to kick things off.
And
to debut in the middle
100% drop
bracket.
Boskia is huge too if they find glasses.
Yeah. So what is a hundo drop? What you just mentioned. How does that work?
So the Morte enemy, in vanilla, it does not drop any shards, but in rando they made it so it either has a usually like 2% drop, or sometimes it will drop a shard 100% of the time. And in this case, where it's a top tier red shard being dropped, it's pretty huge for your damage output.
It's also nice for cash, potentially. Something that Ritual of the Night adds that previous Igavanias did not have is the ability to sell duplicate shards. So if you get something good, you can power it up to max and use it. If you get something bad with this 100% Morte drop, well, at the very least, you can collect them and sell them for a pretty chunk of change.
It's very true. Some of these reds are worth, what is it, up to 1,000 each?
In fact, there is some good crafting material in general already. Axel just picked up perhaps a stream delay issue here for Trixxy. But yeah, Axel has some gemstones to work with now.
And a Kitsune mask, which is a pretty good hat to have if they do not find other top tiers like Diabolus.
Quickly switching to Axel's audio, definitely pulling ahead. Really impressed, actually. Having not seen Axel before, this is some quality play. It was a really good start. Almost a sub 3-minute boat time.
Wow. And sure. I see Trixxy's farming Dula Hammer, maybe for ingredients or some other item. I'm not quite sure.
Here's what you asked for.
Now that's interesting. So that quest that Axel just completed has kind of fallen out of fashion lately. It used to be a quest that everyone would go for if you had a tunic, because it's right on the way. But you only get what, like, I think it's exclusively food ingredients for that first one.
It is. It is. The only upside to it we've had. Oh, there's bromide from Johannes as well, which is pretty big. But the only big use we've seen from it is if you get a ring soon after, because she does give an accessory in trade for a ring, and you have to do them in order.
Oh, speaking of rings, there's one in the shop. You always want to get one of these just to expand the crafting table. And then I saw that Johannes had a witch's hat. I'm not sure what's needed, but that's one of the very best pieces of headgear in the game. Also, purchasable waystones is great.
I think I just saw purchasable halite.
That's
as
a,
well.
central ingredient for infinite food items if you want to farm that. Now we're getting a question here in the chat, Maximus, from Roxas. What do we think about the Bloodstained update announcement? This match is happening the same day as that trailer dropped, so maybe you could share your thoughts. What do you think? Excited?
I think so. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Doing, I guess, both the multiplayer as well as the people are talking a lot about that new Dominique mode, maybe having some story to it as well. I think Rainbow talked about a redemption arc maybe in the works. Or at least that's what she's hoping for.
Yeah, it's interesting. If you've played Curse of the Moon 2, Dominique is a totally different character, much more sympathetic compared to in Ritual. So it'll be interesting to see what the second classic mode does to change up her character. Now, both Axel and Trixxy are spending a lot of time here at the start, but they're getting some good stuff for it. Oftentimes, it's worth investing a few minutes here just to prepare yourself for the remainder of the rando.
Definitely, and we saw that he did check the ring trade, but it was just a critical ring, which is okay for DPS at the end, but otherwise, not quite worth doing that whole trading sequence.
Oh, I was just about to mention, Graham. Hey, you know, this weapon is really quick if you've got Jeeble glasses. And we've got some Jeeble glasses. Axel showing off the tech right here. Look at that speed. That is a quarter circle forward input, and if you try doing this with the glasses not equipped, it'll deplete your MP bar even at a very high level in no time flat.
But in this case, we may see a lot. Oh wow, he's going for it again. We're probably going to see a lot of use of it, especially in these opening hallways.
This game is so sick. I love Ritual.
Yeah, he gets to dodge the bats.
Yeah, and to your point earlier about the importance of that hundo drop from the Morte, now our players have got access to Infinite Flamethrower. That's, by the way, another one that has a big buff when you have Jeeble glasses. Infinite Flamethrower, Graham Movement, and Infinite Maxed Out Vaskia. I think it's already Combat Go mode. I think this is good enough to win.
I think so too. The Vaskia is amazing against Bale, and I'm sure Flamethrower will let them keep like pretty good range against Dom as well. Yeah, they've already got combat at this point, definitely.
So, as a reminder, Go mode is not just good combat, it's also the Zangetsuto's sword, which is considered a key item for the purposes of same type shuffle. We're also looking for Dimension Shift, which is a purple movement shard, which means we need to farm the souls of any enemy that normally drops a purple.
Now that I think about it, as we saw earlier too, they had Howlite and Rice in the shop, so literally all three checkboxes are checked for can they beat the game. They just have to find Dimension Shift as well as Zangetsuto.
Good point. Sometimes in these zip seeds, even with Jeeble glasses, if healing is an issue, Dominique can be a wall, but not going to be a problem here. This might, I hate to say it, just come down to farming luck. A chance for a Trixxy comeback, maybe.
Definitely. If it's in these initial shards, definitely. If not, we may see more routing different divergences, and it come down to that, like with the race we saw yesterday with Scott.
Okay, finally, Inferno Breath from the Frogs. And actually gonna go with Inferno Breath over Flamethrower. What do you think, Maximus? In a situation with Jeeble glasses, how would you compare these two fire directional shards?
That's honestly a great question, because I haven't actually gotten much practice with Flamethrower on a glasses seat. Usually we always find Aqua Stream right after. So I'm not quite sure.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, Axel is opting not to farm the pig right now. Perhaps they got it already and I didn't notice. But if so, that's interesting with Vaskia, because that's a quick farm. Okay, nice. Blood Grinder on the way. Chisel Barrage, okay. Now that's a top tier for sure. We saw that used against Bale in the opening match of the tournament. Not only is the DPS excellent, it also slightly stun locks certain bosses.
Oh, hold on. Did Axel dodge Bone Mort? Because I just saw Trixxy get Aqua Stream off of a Bone Mort.
Oh no! I mean, it's not a huge deal, thankfully, because of that Chisel Barrage, but that's an interesting one to gamble, considering it comes so early. I mean, there are so many of them throughout the castle. Maybe the idea is, you know, you'll find it eventually in time. It doesn't have to be right away. But that's really good for Trixxy. That's going to be huge DPS. And now, with Vaskia and Aquastream, if there are any, like, ice rings lying around, or if they're able to be crafted, that's going to be the best accessory for this seed.
Definitely an ice seed for sure if he gets that ring.
Okay, so now we're going to get a peek at the first white shard. There's always a canister here that normally drops. Shortcut, but here it can drop any white shard. Best case scenario is some combination of invert, double jump, or high jump.
Yeah, definitely. Getting a guaranteed invert or high jump early on is massive. It pretty much unlocks most of the castle as well, especially invert.
But it's vanilla.
Oh wow. Okay.
I gotta tell you, Axel, despite skipping some things that are maybe a bit questionable, has had outstanding farm luck. Blood Grinder Knight on the way, Barbados on the way, and now Ordog on the way.
That's insane. And the... Oh, man. On top of him using Graham really well as well, so he's just gaining more and more of a lead. I see Trixxy finally got one of the shards.
Yeah, the pig shard, that's the first time we're seeing the pig purple. It is Tornado Slicer. So, not great. Good skip by Axel.
I'm just loving these 200 damage hits after a long run.
Yeah, power builds up as the charge attack gains momentum. I think there is a limit that you hit pretty early. But yeah, the cap is pretty high, especially for this point in the game. I think the most I got in testing was like 400 something, which is crazy for a standard attack. But you gotta go through like 3 or 4 rooms to get that high.
He's doing gargoyles now.
Yeah, there's an argument to make that you should wait until after craft work, because that way you get a chance at Accelerator. It just speeds this up. Kind of a no reason not to wait. So I tend to do craft work first, personally.
That's a good point. With him having Chisel, it could be argued that stepping in and out is as fast, but him using Vaskia like this, yeah, Accelerator would definitely speed it up. poor Trixxy is just getting locked up on these frogs.
Yeah, I was hoping that the RNG would equalize, but it's been the opposite. Axel actually building on their lead, courtesy of the frogs. What is it with frogs and Ritual? Oh my god, what an insane fight. You got the frog farm, which is always one of the worst early game farms. Vanilla craft work that's going on the tracker for Axel. Then you got the frog at Bale, who just never shows up. It's really something. It's a frog game.
So now Vanilla Craftwork is actually an out for Axel. With him missing Aqua Stream, without that Craftwork, they would have had to go underwater. But now with it, he can just go right across that the room Trixxy's in, the chariot room.
Good point. Yeah, in fact, I should add this to Trixxy's tracker now. You can use Aqua Stream not just for combat, but to move around underwater. In fact, that is its intended function. It's first and foremost a movement shard. So I wonder if we'll see a divergence. Yeah.
I think it depends on if Trixxy fights Craftwork or not, but I could definitely see Trixxy going underwater if he doesn't grab Craftwork, while Axel's now most likely heading for Andrielphus for the next white shard.
Okay, so both options are available now for Axel, who does get Aqua Stream on the way.
Finally getting to Zangetsuto 1.
Interesting. Looks like Axel wants to get a different familiar early, going for some of these kills here on the Pixies. Familiars can be pretty useful, although I don't know about in a Jeeble Glasses seed. Maybe Dentalian, or I don't know actually. I'd probably skip.
Dentalian? Yeah.
The trouble with Dantalion, it's one of the best familiars normally, but the plus strength boost is not as important here.
Yeah,
oh, but this is a.
I'd argue.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, he's putting off. Yeah, like you said, he's putting off. He put off Pig until now.
Yeah, this is a cool spot to farm Pig.
But I was gonna say the only thing I could see fishing for. And I wouldn't even fish for it because the chance of solo, it's probably Silver Knight because it does block projectiles. It could save you in a pinch, but at this point, with this combat, I don't think we'd need him at all.
Well, it's going to have to be a really bad couple of farms for Axel for Trixx to catch up anytime soon. But this pig farm is not good. It's one of the worst I think I've ever seen. Oh, there it is. Just complain. Even when the commentator complains, it works. You get the shard
Poor
drop.
Pig's doing his best to help Trixxy right now. Speaking of though, actually, Axel, I don't think we saw him check for safety Zangetsuto either.
Oh, really?
I believe he went straight to the right, went to Craftwork and Waystone.
Interesting. I wonder if that's by design. This is also very interesting, doing the blue farm before tower.
It is, especially with him having Graham.
Well, it sort of pays off. Maybe, Maximus, you can tell us about the merits of Jeeble Glass's standstill.
We can see it now. Oh man, Standstill is normally a very expensive shard to use, but it does stop all enemies on screen, which helps a ton with just getting through rooms, as well as allowing you to stop Bale and Gremory to an extent. So it is a pretty huge shard to grab, especially so quickly.
I gotta tell you, I'm impressed by Axel's play. We're seeing a lot of unorthodox decision making and a lot of creativity.
And he's farming blues, or he just gave it the one. Okay.
At this point, we've got 7 blues on the table. So a 1 in 7 chance at Accelerator. Not bad, but maybe not worth a dedicated farm. It's a judgment call, especially in a bracket format, because if you get Accelerator and your opponent doesn't, it can win you the race straight up.
That's a very good point.
Oh, that bird went flying. Oof, a little bit of overkill there from Axel. Hopefully we'll see if the backup location is checked on Trixxy's side. That might have been a mistake. Hopefully not too costly for Axel.
Yeah, it really depends on... We've seen the safety show up even with Zangetsuto in a very normal spot like behind Valak or top of Cathedral, but that still means that Axel has to go to Cathedral to check that too if he doesn't check the safety.
Oh no, this room done the standard way is kind of a sad room.
Oh, it's so sad.
Once again, you can see the impact of a bad farm on Trixxy's side. Axel got Ordog on the way. I think Trixxy's on try number like 30. It's a big difference. We're talking about minutes. So hopefully the seed goes on longer, and there's a chance for the luck to equalize slightly. You know, law of large numbers and all that. But if it ends up being go mode in the next couple of farms, then it's going to be hard to imagine how Trixxy can catch back up. Gonna need a couple of breaks, I think.
I think so too at this point, because with those glasses, you're just unstoppable. Just flying through. I've noticed he is skipping accessories, which makes a lot of sense. He's got glasses. I don't know what you think, maybe checking accessories for a luck ring or skull necklace.
For my money, until we have hard stats on exactly how much luck benefits, because it definitely works. It definitely feels like it works. Let me correct myself. Healing on Rolsha, not great. I think I agree with Trixxy's play here. Just skip it. There are some good luck boosting accessories, but there are also other ways to boost luck. Food and armor pieces, so maybe not worth the time investment.
That's true, and I don't think Axel needs luck at this point.
Oh, interesting. We're actually getting Sage Tome over Deadeye, which I think makes a lot of sense. That way you can buff your Vaskia damage in addition to your directional shard damage. Now that was really smart. You'll notice that Standstill doesn't work on Andre Alphys, but it does work on the Vaskia projectiles. So those become lingering hitboxes.
Yeah, and that applies to a lot of shards in the game if he decides to utilize that more with Vaskia and Invert.
This is perhaps the single rudest Ordog I have ever seen.
We can definitely. This is kind of the best example of why we see so many racers skipping Ordok now, because this is just brutal.
Now here's the thing. There is some good news for Trixxy. Trixxy knows they're behind. I mean, there is no way their thought process assumes that Axel is having equally bad luck. They gotta figure they're like way behind the average. So they're in a prime position to gamba with some kind of a crazy route. Finally. All right, now Trixxy's got some decisions to make. The seat at the moment, unfortunately, is kind of linear. But after inverted Andre Alphys, there are some options in play. You could go train, or you could go Oriental Lab, or you could go underwater. In fact, you could go underwater right now if you wanted to be super bold. We'll have to see.
It's true. We'll have to see. Like, I don't think they picked up Aegis. I'm not sure if he wants to damage boost into Oriental, but yeah, that between underground and train, it's a little bit of a tough pick.
Axel unpunished for that backup or the safety skip. Interesting.
Wow. Okay. It looks like Axel's going up, which makes sense since he skipped the safety. He'll hopefully find the sword up top.
Yeah, so at this point, we've only got 4 Zangetsuto locations remaining. We've got the top of Chapel, the top of Top Floor, we've got the key item behind the dragons, and then we've got Vanilla, which is always the most interesting one. That's at Standard Zangetsu 2. That's the one that I'm always rooting for, personally.
In this seed, I think I'm rooting for it too. It'd be fun to see with all these shards how they tackle Zangetsuto.
Okay, there's craft work for Trixxy.
Axel swiping Larages on the way with that technique.
Okay, so going for the backup now. This makes sense. It's very unconventional, but I mean, I think for my money, I want to have that information as soon as possible. So I can work around it, but yeah.
I think I do too, but I'm kind of a big fan. He's keeping everybody on their toes.
Oh, hang on. I think we've got a Forgore here. No? Okay, I was thinking maybe they didn't remember they'd already gotten the Bone Morte. Not going to top floor. Are we going to see instant Oriental? No?
I'm not sure.
God, the speed is out of control on this Graham.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Okay.
Hang on, I gotta draw your attention to Trixxy's side of the match. I believe this is the Mikazuki sword. Look at that special, that's fancy. That's especially good with Jeeble glasses. You can just spam that thing.
Especially in this room.
Yes, that was just for Bone Morte after all, not a big deal. But now what? What's up next for Axel? A lot of choices here.
Okay, he might be going up after all. I kind of agree though. Like it's very that, and the castle just opens up. You have so many options.
So yeah, this farm right here, this Shield Outsider farm, is becoming more fashionable. Courtesy really of Hopera, I think. I mean, it makes sense if you're someone like Hopera, who's got supreme confidence in their movement. You don't want to get burned by orphaning a check, so you want to do everything as soon as possible. And in this situation, you know, Axel's had some amazing farms and has been playing super hot. See, I say you just go for it, and there it is. Not bad.
Immediately using the Tizerzion, very good for instant long-range damage, especially if he plans to farm Larage here.
Okay, some poison. I think Trixxy really needs to go underwater. This lead is continuing to grow here for Axel.
Did Axel's not checking the key item chest?
Are we sure they didn't already? Uh-oh.
No, I see the icon on his map. He skipped the key item. That could be Sangetsuto.
Oh jeez. Well, maybe it's another creative reroute. We'll have to see. We've been fooled before here, but I couldn't think of a reason to skip that, honestly.
I don't either.
Oh, and save, sure. Yeah, okay. Axel going right back to save. Very good. You don't want to take any chances with Jeeble. You know, it's an easy fight that you never mess up right up until you do. And you wouldn't want to give up a free game for that.
Definitely. Let's see if Sword is in the convenient spot, or...
It sure is. Unpunished a second time. That's huge. Now it's still not go mode yet, but we can deal with Jeeble now and even go into the abyss. So the seat is even more open now than it was before. Oh yes, nice. Trixxy is going underwater. This could be it.
That's great. If Caverns pays off, that could be a really big way for Trixxy to catch up. The better question for Axel though is, with him having access to train, since it's 4 and 4, if he's gonna try to do 10 or if he's gonna go straight to train. Okay, he cut the moon.
Alright, so down here in the caverns, we've got a few purples to farm. It's Decarabia, Decima, then you go down to the desert, and there's Amy, and there's Volcano Morte. So it's not that many, but Trixxy does have a few outs here.
And even with Santa Hat and Valkyrie, these farms are still just giving Trixxy so much trouble.
Bald Tayab. Probably the second best thing Trixxy could have found. I think even with Jeeble glasses, this thing is insanely good. Sometimes considered the best shard in the whole game, in fact.
And I think with Dom still being, something he has to fight, Bald will come in handy for getting through her, and then getting to Bale to spam Aqua Stream on. Oh, and Axel is opting for Den. Okay.
I like this because you can just farm Abyssal Guardian on the way and then get the warp. It's low committal for now, you know.
Yeah, and like I said, like this versus Train, both are kind of a 2-2, 2 bosses, two enemies to farm, but this one does put you closer to the final warp. And with this kind of power, the health difference doesn't matter. He just shredded through Abyssal.
With some of these shards, you gotta ask yourself, what were they thinking? The top tiers in this game are super fun to use, but they're also super broken. It's a classic Igavania design choice. Oh, man. You know, there is some truth to what they say. Invert can be a little disorienting. That Graham into the invert got me. A little bit of motion sickness there. All right, so here we go. We're back. Right side up. We got an Abyssal Guardian farm here. This is going to be a quick one.
Wow. I was going to mention that Standstill does help farming him if you only have like Aqua Stream, but Baskia is just destroying it. Oh, well, there he goes, using it as well.
And here comes the Decima drop for Trixxy. This has really got to be Dimension Shift, I think. Here it is. Bone Toss. Alright, so Trixxy's got a big bone. Bad. There's no silver lining.
Okay, but... Alright, I don't think he picked up Invert yet from Andrielphus, so he still has Amy, and after that he'll have to leave and go get Invert before he can try for Volcano Mort.
True, and Trixxy will have access to the Desert Warp to make it a little bit quicker, but yeah, if you're a Trixxy fan in the chat, it's probably going to be Amy or bust. Okay, it's not an Abyssal. Just more poison for Axel.
He's not opting to, or is he?
I think it's a safety save. I mean, this boss can combo you for sure.
I was gonna say, like, even with all that power, I'd be a little scared of just getting hit too hard.
Good disciplined play, I think.
Definitely.
Here comes Amy.
Oh, man.
There goes Amy. As a reminder, all seeds for this tournament have been vetted ahead of time. This one vetted by Fran. Thank you, Fran. So it's not going to be a soft lock. It's not a question of will we find it, but where will we find a Dimension Shift.
Very true. And I did see Scott point out that the only downside right now with Axel skipping chests, or skipping key item chests, is if he's still missing Warforce and Carpenter key. In case that lands on those two shards, that could be a big problem.
That's actually an excellent point. Yeah, so there are some optional, I don't want to call them super bosses, but they're definitely challenging fights. And a couple of them drop purples. The fake Simon Belmont, aka the Revenant, and Carpenter. Everyone's favorite. So yeah, you got to do these key item checks just to get those keys. And in fact, in this position, those might be decent farm ideas. Oh, look at this. So Trixxy doesn't have the knowledge, right, that Andre Alphys has got invert. So going for... Oh, this is so sick. I've never seen this strat before. I'm not sure it's optimal, but it's safe and it's stylish.
I have noticed watching Trixxy play before, he absolutely loves this technique, so this is very cool to see.
Ritual of the Night continues in the footsteps of Symphony of the Night with these fighting game style inputs. For this Mikazuki special, it's forward, back, forward, attack in quick succession. So Trixxy making this look easy. You can tell by the buttons on the bottom right, Trixxy's actually playing this on a fighting game controller. How appropriate.
Okay, I see Axel is not opting for Demon Lord or Gremory. He's actually heading to Library.
I'll go with this.
Okay, it looks like train access and a second book. Oh no, maybe not. Maybe we're going tower first.
I'm glad he checked it again, because I didn't see him pick up Pass Plate. I was a little worried he might try to go to train without it.
So what are the options here for Alfred? It's it could be high jump, that'd be best case scenario, or double jump. Worst case is
Deep Sinker.
Oh
vanilla.
right, jeez, yeah, that's still on the table.
Yep. I'd say double jump is still. I don't know if it would have been worth the time it took to beat Alfred, but it at least is a nice consolation. A high jump would be excellent here, though it wouldn't get him to Volcano Mort, and it's double. Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that's a great assessment. This is not going to make up that time entirely, but it'll help out a surprising amount. So it's like, would you invest a net loss of 30 seconds for the convenience of double jump? I think you probably do, actually. So I think Trixxy's fine having that.
And I think it is a very helpful movement option for him, since I don't know if he didn't pick up Graham, but he hasn't been using Graham technique like Axel has. So it should maybe help him get a little more of an edge on his movement.
Is Axel the best Graham player in the world? He just hit that wolf for 300 damage. Oh, messed up once. No longer the best. So here we've got two more purples. We've got the bird purple. We've got the guaranteed boss drop purple. And there could be a key back there, which would be nice.
Well, oh, Trixxy has, or not Trixxy, Axel has a right, so I did not realize the gear on the right clips as well. I don't know if that's faster, but it's definitely cool.
Yeah, actually, I tend to clip on the right as well. I think left is considered better, but I see different runners do different things. I think it's just more of a preference option. Both left and right are good. Now this is really cool. Trixxy opting to do some clock tower stuff early. If Dragons has got dimension shift, Trixxy's not gonna be able to catch up quite, but it'd be closer.
Definitely. Did Axel pick up the Celiano shard, or did he skip it?
Yeah, it was gold bullets from Celiano.
Okay.
Oh, did Axel save before Dragon? This is a lot of damage we might have a dragon zombie situation on our hands.
I'm not sure if it's safe or not.
What is dragon zombie?
So, since this is more of a, in a sense, a cutscene boss, you have to wait for it to get to a certain part of the tower before it'll die. Sometimes it will glitch out and not get far enough in and get stuck. And then you are essentially soft locked from there and have to die to the dragon.
Okay, if you are a Trixxy fan in the chat, you are rooting for Axel's game to blow up live on stream, which is now 100% possible. I hate to say it. Axel has killed these dragons like 10 times over. Okay. No problem.
Congratulations.
What do we got? Bald Siu, which at this point isn't really. Well, no, this is his first Dark Shard though, actually. So Bald Siu is pretty good for Axel.
Good point. And some people argue it's better than Void Ray with Jeeble glasses because you can set it up like a landmine, a dark landmine, and it'll deal a lot of damage to enemies as they like pass over it. I don't know. I'm unconvinced, but it's definitely better than it appears. It's a really good purple.
It's very good for Bale with, like you said, the landmines, but of course we're also in this situation where we have Standstill and Aqua Stream and Voskia, so it'll be more helpful to help beat Dom. And I see he's going for Train now.
I hate to say it, but I think Trixxy's out of options here. There aren't really any more divergences left. I mean, one idea would be going to Oriental Lab before Axel, but Trixxy doesn't have access with no high jump and no invert. It's been a really impressive display from Axel game 1 here. Maybe all in on like a Gremory, but it's so unlikely at this point. I think Axel's got this.
That's what it definitely seems like. That, or like we said, the only other would be the mini bosses having it, but we'll definitely have to see. Oh, someone mentioned too, 8-bit could be an out. I guess Axel hasn't gone to 8-bit yet either.
It is the creature of ritual, that 8-bit farm. Maybe it's a creature kind of day.
Get this open.
Now Trixxy saved this time, but we see him doing the same thing, just
Irresponsible.
completely obliterating.
Sometimes it's fun to press buttons, you know? I don't blame him.
Oh, definitely.
Now look at that dive kick speed. That is some fighting game dive kick speed if I've ever seen it.
Oh, I like this. Axel inverting so that he can hit the tongue with Voskia.
And what do we got? Bolide Blast. This has got that same pseudo stun lock property as Chisel Barrage, so it's quite good. Also, fun fact, I don't know why, this is both fire and electric elements. It's quite good.
And we've actually discussed it might be all elements, because we've also heard it make the holy sound as well against certain enemies. Because I always thought it was fire and holy.
Oh.
We have to do a little more testing on it.
So at the very least, it's triple, huh?
Hits. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to do more testing.
It's very good shard with glasses.
So we've got 2 more purples here. It's a safe bet that it's here somewhere. We got Bomber Morte, a potential accelerator jump from the Sidha enemies, and then Bathen has got a purple too.
And I feel like because of especially the great farms in the Graham, we're very quickly running out of purples now that I think about it. I mean, after Train, he's including underground, it's 10, but if he stays above ground, that's like 6 shards to go.
In fact, let's do a quick count. Let's assume it's not here. What we got left? We got Carpenter, we've got Revenant, we've got Cow, we've got Kamikaze, Demon Lord, Gremory. Is that everything? That would be 6.
Yep, and 8-bit. 8-bit.
Oh, and 8-bit, yeah.
Can't forget the creature. Assuming he doesn't go underground, of course. He's still got those 4 as well, which he can access Volcano Mort right now, unlike Trixxy.
Well, in the meantime, this is a miserable Bomber Morte farm. However, Tiss making it less painful. Oh, it's not here. Okay. Trixxy, do something crazy, Trixxy. Trixxy, go to Revenant or something like that. Go to 8-bit. You gotta do something.
I think... Oh, yeah. And Trixxy still has to pick up Invert. So he has a minute before he can even try to make a big divergence.
So question from the chat, who is in the lead? Axel, I think it's fair to say, has played extremely well game number 1 here. And harder to calculate in terms of minutes ahead, but in terms of checks, Axel's done like, what, 10 to 15 more purples than Trixxy? It's quite a large number here. So it's going to require a very ambitious play from Trixxy to even have a chance.
I definitely agree there. Both the movement with the Graham as well as just excellent farms has really pushed Axel ahead.
In fact, I wonder how much of this lead is attributable to Graham movement. It really is super important to get this mastered for the tournament, I think. This could be a big difference maker going forward. Because there's not just this, there's also the Speed Spear, which is similar.
True, and I haven't gotten as much experience with Graham, but just seeing it now, there's a lot more instances where it goes pretty fast as well.
Alright, so Axel's going to be disappointed by all of this, but will have a chance, you mentioned earlier, to farm Volcano Morte. And that's one of the remaining candidates. Alright, so if you're a Trixxy fan, I've got an actual viable win. You ready? Trixxy gets invert here, goes top floor, farms 8-bit. I think that's the win condition.
8-bit or Oriental at this point. He may have time to go to Oriental as well.
Yeah, it's true. This trip down to Caverns for Axel is going to take a while.
The only scary part here on Axel's side, though, is the more shards we hit, the closer and closer we're getting to that reality of it being behind Warhorse or Carpenter, which, if he doesn't have those keys, he's going to get hard-walled.
Okay. Everyone take a look at Trixxy's side. We're going to get some information about route. Oh, well, that's not good. This is looking like Train to me. Or no, wait a minute, hang on. Oh, this is weird. Is this going to be a top floor via Abyssal? We don't see this route hardly ever.
That's what it looks like. Yeah, and we don't, and I think mainly that's attributed to one, I guess it being a little more straightforward on Cathedral, but also that one key item chest. is usually the biggest reason
Yeah,
why
it's just right there on the way. It's super convenient.
that, and you don't have to take the long way around Hall either.
This Fornius farm is an interesting call. Where's that Fornius? Oh, there he is.
I'm curious why he went for it.
Oh, maybe Vaskia not good enough. Axel's got some high standards. I can do better than that. I can get a better red.
Fishing for Hellhound at this point.
Yeah,
I can
yep.
see it.
Look, there is better. Unironically, there is better. So yeah, really cool route from Trixxy. Hoping for an 8-bit.
Resign's just gonna make this Amy farm insanely fast too. Yep.
Oh, Oh, wait a minute. Now, I understand that waystone. It makes sense. You don't want to lose all this progress, but, did Axel get the warp in the desert?
He didn't.
That's not good. Alright, so, I'm guessing, maybe actually feeling less confident. I mean, hard to, believe, but, you can't see your opponent's status in the middle of a race. So as well as Axel played, rando racers tend to be pretty pessimistic about their own performance. So maybe the thought process is, look, I'm going to die here, potentially lose this race. I'm going to just waystone out, not eat the fried fish. And just hope it's not. Yeah, just hope it's not Volcano Morte. That is a potential out for Trixxy now. That is a potential vulnerability.
He may also not realize that back door into there. He might think he needs like Deep Sinker and Reflector Ray to get to it.
Possible, yeah.
Oh, and there's Aegis, which could convince him to check Oriental sometime soon if Demon Lord and Gremory don't pay off.
We're also going to get a potential key item check over here. Okay, Trixxy, please don't skip. Oh, that's a skip! Everybody's allergic to 8-bit today. Unfortunate.
Yeah, I see Axel didn't stop to farm Demon Lord either. I don't know if he might be coming back for it or if he's gonna stay or like leave and kind of skip Demon Lord.
Now, standstill doesn't work exactly on Gremory, but you can use it to skip a phase. Depends on the attack. It's a little complicated. But you're looking for the hand attack, and then you can stand still, yeah?
Yeah, and she gets stuck complete. If it's the hand attack, she actually gets stuck completely, and you're able to just whittle her down.
Oh, Grummery with the W. That's why you save. It's a tough fight.
Yeah, and Axel might not realize about that standstill cheese for that arm move, but I think he'll be okay because that output is insane. And we see Trixxy going right to Den as well.
Could it be? Maybe Axel gets death looped here, and it's vanilla. If you haven't played Ritual in a while, just remember that this is where Dimension Shift is normally found.
Yeah, and I can see Trixxy maybe thinking that this is in itself a good divergence, is actually going through all of Endgame. Because not a lot of people like to do that, especially with how sturdy a lot of the enemies are. And an instant abyssal drop.
Very nicely done by Axel on the second attempt. Moment of truth. Oof. This is not a zip seed. Unless, of course, it was 8-bit all the time, and it was a stealth zip seed.
And now I'm wondering if maybe he has Carpenter's key and he's looping Demon Lord in with Carpenter, because he completely bypassed Demon Lord.
That's not an uncommon approach. Since Carpenter often takes a while, you'll often get Demon Lord first. Yo, 8-bit. Oh, here we go. If it's right here, that's going to be heartbreaking for Trixxy, who could have actually had like a 1-minute lead. Would have been a much lower level, but with Jeebel's glasses, I'm not sure how much that matters. That could have been huge. We'll see.
That Graham movement just shining again, especially here where it's so flat. Oh, I like what Trixxy's doing as well. You can use invert to keep the Basquiat hitbox on the screen for massive amounts of damage, especially if you don't have standstill, which I don't think Trixxy does.
This is proving to be a little bit unlucky for Axel, but we got 8 in like a big pile right here. There we go. Well, it's on the tracker. Sure is on the tracker.
Reflector ray, wow.
This is rough.
So, yeah, we still have Demon Lord, Carpenter, Cat, and Cow in Oriental.
And then we've got Revenant, and I think that's it.
And Volcano Mort.
Oh yeah,
I didn't mention it.
So the final 6.
So we're getting down to the wire. Now we did see that one of the key item chests that Axel skipped was knife and boots. So he could very well just have both keys, and I may not have seen that, but let's see what he does. If he does have Carpenter's key, I think Oriental's a fantastic play, because that is 4 shards here at this point.
Yeah, no, statistically this is 100% the right call. Even though Carpenter can take a while, the numbers make sense. Oh, careful.
Yeah, he does need to play it a little safe. Oriental is surprisingly, like, everything hits very hard here, so if you're not prepared, you could just get completely chipped down, especially by these monkeys and all the hitboxes everywhere in here.
You know what might be a decent idea, and this is rarely seen, but healing with Jeebel glasses Even though it's slow, it is infinite. You could just
That's
put
very
that on
true.
and hold R as you're moving.
That's true. I also agree with using standstill like Axel's doing, or seems to be doing now. Oh, he's skipping the. It looks like he's skipping the cow room.
Straight to kamikaze, huh?
He could also farm it at the beginning of this larger room, but I'm not sure what his plan is.
Doing this makes me nervous. I'd be afraid of like crashing the game somehow. You can never be too careful with ritual. Okay, I think going maybe to the warp. Yeah, heal up, save, come back. Oh, Trixxy just got Demon Lord, and it's Summon Pig. Very cool.
Man, and that would have been one of his outs. I mean, he's right there. That's unfortunate.
In fact, yeah, that would have just been Trixxy wins, which is insane.
Yeah. But now he's going to Gremory, so he'll probably be there for a minute.
Oh, what's
Let's see.
what's Axel up to here? Farming macaron.
Do you think he's getting the cats mixed up? Because Kamikaze is also a giant cat.
Possible. This one drops a red normally, I believe.
Yeah, it drops the. I believe it's the poison tornado. Yeah, toxic storm.
Excellent first try for Trixxy.
Yeah, with the shard like Basquiat, you can treat invert like standstill for everything and just spam it for massive amounts of damage. I believe we talked about Ruinous Root doing the same thing as well.
Oh, you know what? I just realized something. Axel bailed on Volcano Morte, did not grab the warp. Trixxy has the warp.
Yep.
It's actually not over yet. I was thinking it was a foregone conclusion, but there's at least one out for Trixxy here. But he's got to have that sixth sense to assume that's something that was potentially orphaned or skipped. We'll see. Oh, Shinobi Garb. That's a good drop. Good defense, good
That's very
offense.
Yeah, I believe it. I know it gives strength. Doesn't it give a couple points of int or?
I want to say,
I know
yeah.
Scarlet
I think it's
Dresses are big
across the
points.
board good offense.
Very good then.
Okay, so what would you use here, Maximus, for this Kamikaze farm? Kamikaze's all the way over there, and there's this gap. In the gap between the entrance and the cat. Well, it's over now. But what would you have used? What's the best option?
I agree with Axel's approach of just running up and high DPSing it, because that, if you don't have enough DPS, that the red demon just starts being a problem.
I apologize for the pun. I couldn't help myself. That name is so ridiculous. Why is it called Gap? Who knows? Okay, so Trixxy's going up to Oriental makes plenty of sense. This is the sort of thing that would be skipped, but
And if it's on Cow, Trixxy might still have an out on Cow or Carpenter, because Axel hasn't seen either of those yet. I don't know if he's going to revisit.
possible. Oh, this might be a trip to Volcano Morte.
Could be. And I could also see Axel maybe not realizing what all purples he has left. Especially because we don't most of our seeds end up being very quick zip type seeds, so you don't see a lot of these endgame areas as often.
It's a great point, and we should actually go over some of the history here, I think. For those who don't know, this same type shuffle preset is something the community has developed over the past 4 or 5 months. So considering the game itself came out in, 2018? This is brand new. And it's proving to be a great preset for competitive play. It both uses the built-in rando. Ignore what I'm saying. Trixxy pulls ahead with cow go mode.
Why did Axel skip cow? No!
The Trixxy miracle comeback. But yeah, to finish my tangent very quickly here, it's a brand new preset. It's very complicated. Ritual of the Night itself is just a complicated game. Tough to optimize. There's a lot to keep track of. Trixxy, I don't think Anne is going to sell that. Need more cash. Anyway. The point is, this is very understandable, if unfortunate for Axel. Axel played great, but forgot to do cow, and that's going to be the difference maker.
Yeah, and without that warp, if he's going all the way to Volcano Mort, it seems like Trixxy's gonna have plenty of time to get ready and just destroy Dom with all the shards he has, especially with all the dark shards he's picked up with like Fall Tyab.
What's your feeling, Maximus, on JPN versus English for the voices in Ritual?
I saw that talking about it in chat. I do use English voices for this game. I guess I'm just more used to it since I started with that.
I think both are great, but honestly, I'm pretty used to English as well.
And I'll admit I also have a soft spot for David Hayter, so.
Yeah, that, and also
getting to hear him narrate.
I used to not like the shopkeeper in this game, but Anne's actually pretty great. What would you like to boy? It's hard to give that up. It's a good voice. Although Dimension Shifto is also pretty good.
I will agree. Some of the voice lines can definitely being different can help, because that'd be the one thing in English that can get a little frustrating is the spell shards, like called Tyab. Her having to say it every single time can get pretty grating.
This was a truly bizarre and fascinating race. I think you can't help but feel for Axel. But, it goes to show the pitfall of orphaning checks.
True, and definitely true, and maybe also like game knowledge and stuff too, because we also see him farming some reds, maybe thinking that they're purples, and he might have missed them.
It's a totally fair point, and I want to give Axel the benefit of the doubt because their execution has just been on point. But yeah, we'll try and get some info in the post-game interview. That'll be after game number 2. Just to see what the deal was. Why do you skip cow when the cow's right there? This is Trixxy. I disagree with this. It's so cool, but come on. Just bring out the top tiers. Pick a top tier. You're using a fighting stick. You should know about pick a top tier. Come on.
I think if Trixxy had Axel's farms, I'd be like, oh man, he's just styling at this point. But with those farms early on, I'd be too scared that my opponent is fighting Dominique, especially with Fall Tyab in my arsenal. the very least, poison still ticks while he's doing this.
I was about to ask that. Is that how that works? That is pretty good then.
It looks like he also dodged an elbow with it, but even then, it's just so much slower.
Oh, I'm going to be curious to see what Volcano Morte's got here on Axel's side. Not that many purples left. This was nearly a full clear seed, which is crazy.
Yeah, and I'm definitely a big fan of these in seeing like what divergence is like Trixxy's gamble early on and trying to go underground. It's very fun to see, especially when you get a surprise dimension shift drop. Let me see the Volcano Mort farm now. And I think at this point Bale's pretty much done, because Trixxy knows about the Vasquia invert tech, and is just gonna destroy one of the...
This is gonna be a Bale speed run. RNG literally irrelevant here.
I'd say this is good RNG. That's like the biggest hitbox to do this on.
Now this is really good. I think actually Standstill is better, but I don't think Trixxy has Standstill. I think it was only Axel who picked that up.
Yep. So this is kind of the next best thing.
That was a great hit right there. Time is going to be coming up very soon.
Oh,
Time! 1:16:58 for Trixxy. Never give up. A fantastic come from behind win. GG. Okay, so we are back with game number 2 between Trixxy and Axel. What do you think, Maximus? Game 1, obviously a crazy comeback. What do you expect from the second match here?
I'm honestly not sure, because that was an intense game with flipping back and forth on who's in the lead. I kind of expect it to be a little bit more of a wild card again.
It'll be interesting to see. Axel did mention in the race time chat after the match that it was just a matter of forgetting the cow had a purple. So your speculation, Maximus, was 100% correct. Very unfortunate, definitely would have won. But, you know, this game is it's a luck check, it's an execution check, and it's a game knowledge check. If you want to get consistently great times, you got to have all 3 on point, which is super tough to do. But see, I think we'll see Axel play a little bit more aggressive here. That's my guess.
Culverant start. But yeah, no. Even with us narrowing it down to just farm the purples, there's a lot of purples to keep track of.
Oh, and speaking of purples, hang on, let me swap audio. Axel finds Void Ray at the guaranteed drop.
Excellent start then. They also had a Skull Necklace too, so if they get enough MP healing with Void Ray and Skull Necklace, they can have a lot of damage going.
Oh, good point. Yeah, what does Skull Necklace do?
So Skull Necklace doubles the cost, the MP cost of all your shards, but gives you a 1.5 times damage boost. We see Silver Bromide as well early on.
Now, on paper, that sounds like a pretty bad deal, right? Double the price, 1.5 times the damage. But there are a couple of very cheap but strong shards where it's actually great. Now, obviously, if you get Jeeble glasses, it's one of the best accessories, period. But even without it, stuff like Void Ray or Fald Tayab, Skull Necklace is better. No, I'm not sure. But based on the slightly different appearance and the loading differences, I think Axel's playing on PC and Trixxy's on console. Maximus, do you happen to know?
I do not. I'm not sure what Trixxy's playing on, personally.
Okay, well typically speaking, the versions are comparable, except PC is slightly quicker on load stuff. Uh-oh, that's not good. That's, Whoa, what's going on with Trixxy's feed here? Was it a game crash?
I don't know.
Congratulations.
We're gonna keep it online for now, hopefully resolved sooner rather than later. Well, it's certainly true. Oh, here we go. It certainly hasn't happened before. At least not in this tournament. Hopefully it never happens again. We're at least seeing the icon.
Thinking console at this point with the icon.
What are we transmuting this time?
Okay, so a lot of stuff to craft potentially here. Valkyrie dress. What are the weapons like? We got Graham again. Oracle blade. Not too amazing.
I'll go with this.
Oh, but when was his last save?
Is it going to be from the top? Oh yeah, look at these load times. This is definitely not PC. Okay, it's not quite from the top. It's
Okay.
right here. So that's not as bad as it could have been. It's like a 3-minute time loss. Hate to see it, but we saw a massive comeback from Trixxy in game number 1 anyway. Will it be a repeat performance? Who knows? Wait a minute, is that the Zangetsuto? No, it's gotta be something else, right? I don't think that was on the boat.
No, it wasn't on the boat. The first chest was, from what Scott said, it looks like it was the ingredients. Flour, garlic, potato, that's it.
Oh, yeah.
Then, of course, that second key item was the silver bromide.
Fun fact, that chest, the garlic chest, does not exist in the vanilla game. Its only purpose in the randomizer is to replace and erase a real key item. Sometimes leading to a soft lock. Thank you, garlic.
Ooh. Flame Ring's pretty nice, especially if they find something like Hellhound or any other real good flame shard with classes.
Now, it'll be interesting to see. Game number 1 is about as long as a rando seed is going to get. Close to a full clear. And even with Jeeple Glasses and Graham, it was still over an hour. So will this be another long one? Will this be a zip seed? Will this be the rare intermediate seed? Feels like it's always on one extreme or the other when it comes to this rando.
Yeah, and as Scott kind of points out, we'll have to keep an eye on Trixxy's decision making too, on if he decides to gamble, because like Scott says, it's very easy to get flustered, especially with a crash like that.
Yeah, already got to be in a gambling mindset. It's frankly the responsible thing. Axel proved that they have great execution in game number 1. I think the responsible move is actually take some chances here, try to make up that 3-minute difference.
Yeah. Oh, and I see, but he crafted a Mikazuki.
Oh, there's that sword again, huh? I'm sure Trixxy's happy to see that. And a free Valkyrie dress, okay. This one does come with that luck boost built in on top of the great defensive stats. Looks like Axel's gonna farm the Bone Mortar here. Doesn't really matter if you're gonna be using Void Ray, just so long as it's near a room transition, it'll be fine. But low on MP now, so it's gotta wait.
Okay, I see. Yeah, I do exactly what he's doing. If I decided the Void Ray early, is as soon as I'm out of MP, just start heading to the next spot to farm them. It's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah, like here is the typical farm spot. There it is. Just Grinder. That's the one that normally drops from the Blood Grinder enemy. Really good early in a casual run. That's about it. Now let's see, Axel had the benefit of the better farms in game number 1. Maybe we'll have a reversal of fortune. Or maybe more of the same. Void Ray is so good for farming these frogs. Rigadoing
Also,
from the
that
pig.
ruby drop from the pig could make a difference if he finds a ring. Axel yet again just getting great farms.
Yeah, good luck and good drops too. That Chisel Barrage could come in handy. Typically, I think people would agree, Chisel Barrage plus Void Ray is enough to win with. You've got Void Ray for Dominique and then Void Ray plus Chisel for Bale. So I think it's combat go mode, assuming there's enough MP healing.
I agree. MP healing and maybe healing for them, depending on how used they are to both of the boss's movesets.
Another good farm. Instant Barbados, and there's Dimension Shift. Okay, wow. So this is the reverse of game number 1. It's early Dimension Shift, but no Zangetsuto yet. So unless this is vanilla Zangetsuto, it's gonna end up being a pretty quick seed.
Yeah, so while last seed we get to see routing decisions, assuming Zangetsuto's or the sword's in a normal spot or a typical spot that it'll show up in, we get to see kind of the preparation decisions for Dominique and like how they're gonna tackle her so early. Of course, Void Ray really helps there, but we'll see what else they decide to do. Like if they're gonna go to library or somewhere else first.
What other decisions, Maximus, are you thinking about when you're preparing for Dominique and a Zip Seed, like this one potentially will be?
As soon as I get DS, there's the question of, do I have combat? Do I need to farm more purples? In this case, no. It's with Void Ray and Chisel. Then there's like, how far out of the way do I want to go for maybe to find Geebles? And after that, it's mostly just heading there, hoping I can get maybe some food ingredients on the way to make something depending on what's in the shop. It really depends.
Now here's a question. With Dimension Shift and no Zangetsuto... Oh, hang on. Back up. No safety Zangetsuto. What do you think about that move to use Dimension Shift to go to the right rather than the left?
It's something I've seen Fran talk about it before. I like the idea behind it because if you get Zangetsuto, you know, you've got both your pieces for go mode and you're ready to roll. But I feel like that white shard's just too good to give up.
Yeah, it feels like
if
even if you hit go mode, it's almost worth it to just go back and like double back for it. So you might as well just get it on the initial trip. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm pretty skeptical. That's even if you get lucky that it ends up being faster.
Yeah, now we're really hoping for glasses. Axel just picked up Hellhound off of the painting.
Oh wow, that's a pretty common red shard drop in my experience. Very fortunate that it has something so good this time around. But yeah, without Jibo glasses, way too expensive. Now Trixxy does get Chisel.
And we can see one of the decisions on Axel's end as he is skipping Craftwork, which is something we're seeing more and more with these Zip Seeds. Is just not even chancing, like not even trying for Accelerator and just leaving.
Now I'd love to get your thoughts on this too, because personally, while I'm very skeptical of going right with Dimension Shift rather than left towards the white shard canister, when it comes to skipping Craftwork, I'm becoming a believer. What do you think?
I'm starting to think so too, because we've seen, like, there's armor. Armor's kind of mattering less and less. If you're worried about familiars, there's a familiar canister on the way to Jeeble, and it'll be the same shard. The only thing going for it is the 1 in 9 blue and the accessory. And of course, 1 in 9's not very high for Accelerator, and the accessory is way more of a chance, or way lower of a chance to get glasses.
Yeah, I don't have... Oh, well, I guess it's not going to be a Craftwork skip. Maybe it'll be Accelerator, but yeah. I want to say there's something like in the ballpark of somewhere between like 30 and 40 accessories. So, yeah, odds are low. But if it pays out, Axel's going to look like a genius here.
Yeah, if you get an Accelerator or glasses here and everyone else skips, it's huge, but it's such a gamble, especially if you can't kill it quickly, which, I mean, he destroyed it, but it just depends.
Oh, there's also that armor piece. Did we mention that? Maybe we did. But yeah, Aegis plate for Axel.
Yep. I mentioned it, but like I said, seemingly armor is becoming less and less important as we're going on.
Yeah, as people get better and better, as the consistency goes up, you gotta save time where you can, so sometimes defense is a luxury. But yeah, nothing much. Aegis is cool. I'm not sure how useful it's gonna be. Yeah, look at this. Like, I do wonder, like, take a look at Trixxy's side. Trixxy's gonna be doing the standard route I expect after Zangetsu. If there's invert or double jump or especially high jump, it's going to be huge.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Without glasses, dimension shifting to gain height is very expensive.
This is a very sad strat here that Axel's going for. It's a good idea, it's faster, but it works only when it wants to. The new tech that Hapra... Oh, no way. We're going down? That's rough. You can kind of like fall off the platform on the right and then do like a coyote time jump, and that seems to make it easier. But it kind of does work when it wants to.
Yeah. I think I definitely have to give that a lot more practice before I start going for it. Because like you said, it seems to just work when it wants.
Still not going for those white canisters. That's got to be a mistake at this point. It's like 2 rooms away.
Yeah, that's my thought too. Cause like look at his mana pool now. It's so low because he had the dimension shift up. Now the rose ring's gonna help a little bit, but after this he's also got to make the dimension shift climb up to the top of the rightmost room.
Yeah, and then past that, there's a lot of dimension shift used in top floor itself. So we're kind of hoping to see some MP max up items, but nothing there. HP and ammo.
And there's one of the 2 familiar canisters I was talking about. You don't really have to worry about missing out on those if you're banking for like a silver knight. You can skip craftwork fine and still get that familiar.
Dimension shift. Dimension shift.
And we see Axel doing the clip too.
Yeah, that one's interesting. There's like a 1 tile gap you can dimension shift into, then you get pushed from the ceiling into the debris, and you can just walk forward. That one's actually easier than it looks, and it's super consistent. Hopefully we see more runners go for that in the future. But we've got a little buffer here on Trixxy's feed. Let me see if that's fixable. There we go. Don't worry, didn't miss anything. The farm continues. Poor Trixxy, the farm luck has been abysmal.
Dimension shift. Dimension shift.
Here we go. The slow climb upwards.
Dimension shift.
And dimension shift for Trixxy.
Dimension shift. Dimension shift.
Yeah, and I could see Trixxy catching up with.
Dimension shift.
Oh wow, I could see Trixxy catching up with some use, or like getting that white shard and its invert or high jump. But at the end of the day, bad farms just really suck down on your time.
And once again, Axel not going for the key item check, I don't think.
Yep.
Well, we're gonna hope it's sword in the ceiling.
Dimension shift.
With their accessory here, just a lethality ring. If this is the sword up here,
Dimension shift.
I think Axel's gonna have this seed done in the next 10-15 minutes.
Dimension shift.
Definitely has all the tools to win. So this part's tricky. You've got to like dimension shift, then get a pseudo double jump at the apex of the warp. There it is. Very good. Zangetsu in the ceiling. Sorry to interrupt you, but yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I think Trixxy may be going for maybe trying to fish for glasses at this point. Might have realized that, oh, it's a zip seed.
Interesting.
Guess
Perhaps
we're
going
back
for
stolen.
some kind of a crazy key item check. There is that key item past the dragons, but I don't know about this one. When you think about it, the chapel route's got backup, top of chapel, and top of top floor. So 3 chances out of 8 in total, just in that one stretch, versus the 1 in the dragon tower.
Dimension shift.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely why I think he's going this way, just to check for accessories.
Yeah, you could be right about that.
Which I'm still the same mindset as I said before. Like, I'd still go all the way to the warp before Dominique, because you do get some accessories on the way, just to make sure those aren't glasses before I start fishing. Because imagine, you know, going all this way around and it's in Hall of Termination. But we'll see, it might pay off.
You know, this boss is considered pretty trivial on normal mode. Have you seen this guy on hard mode? This is the boss that gets the single biggest buff going from normal to hard. It's actually impressive. I hope someday we'll do a hard mode, like, if not a tournament, maybe a showcase race or two. Be pretty cool to see a buffed Jeeble fight when these stakes are high.
Definitely. Jeeble and especially Dominique get such massive improvements when you go to hard mode. It's such a huge difference.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what this play is from Trixxy right now. I lost 3 minutes in the intro, and I'm gonna hope it's either Vanilla Zangetsuto or Dragon Zangetsuto. I get it, 3 minutes is hard to come back from, especially when the farms are bad. Does make sense, but sadly just not going their way here. Also had a game to work with. So I think if you're gonna play ambitiously, now's the perfect chance.
I'll go with this.
Now that is an over the rainbow crafted. That's the best scarf in the whole game. Good all-around boosts.
Wow. This is very good. If he had cotton, he could make that ancient tiara as well. That's one of the best hats. Not as good as Diabolus, not a +8 int, but it's still very solid.
Oh, what would you like to buy? Oh, what would you like to sell? There you are.
Alright, so how's the healing looking in here?
Is there you?
A lot of money, ton of money to work with for Axel.
There's a lot of ethers in the shop. I didn't see a single potion.
Doing business.
Oh no. Oh no.
Is this what? There you are.
Tons of MP healing, but no HP healing.
Ethers and high ethers, but yeah, if they don't have food, there's nothing to work with.
You know, Maximus, you and I commentated that initial set. There was a similar situation where our runners had everything they needed to win except for a comfortable amount of healing, and ended up adding another like 30 minutes to the runtime because of Dominique and Bale. Will we see a repeat of that here? I think it looks like Axel's just going for it.
If Axel goes for it, I think so. I mean, I don't know. He has excellent gameplay, but these bosses are hard.
You
So
know what?
I'm not quite sure.
Now, Axel, you've got to go for the canisters. This is so greedy. You know that healing is in short supply, and invert or double jump could save your life versus the final bosses. I think you got to go for the canisters.
Yeah. I'm curious which way he's going, actually. He might not have realized that warp by Zangetsu's room is a little bit better to get to the moon.
Yeah, I'm assuming that they have it, yeah. In which case, that would have been a little bit better.
Though he's getting blue chests on the way, which could help him if he happens to find like halide or something that'll let him make food.
To tell you the truth, I'm not 100% sure myself what causes blue chests to respawn. It's something like you go to 2 different areas and you come back and then there. Maybe it's just one area even. But you leave and you do something, you mess around, you come back, and then the blue chests have gotten new contents, and that can often include healing, like fried fish.
Yep, it is area transitions. All you have to do is just go to a different area, and you've got it.
Nice, that's simple.
A lot of us found that out when I think some of the food recipes need an ingredient that only comes out of blue chests, so you have to telly out, telly back, and hit all the blues.
Random yellow here. Oh, an invert for Trixxy, interesting.
Okay.
However, that random yellow was just resist petrify, so not worthwhile.
Invert's gonna be very good for Bale, but did Trixxy even grab that canister?
No, I don't think we've seen either of those canisters. Trixxy hasn't even
I
gone
think he
to.
went straight to the right.
Yeah, hasn't even gone the left side chapel top floor route yet. Maybe right now, because I am really curious. It could just end up being like deep sinker and no invert backup, in which case skipping it's going to be, you know, the optimal route. But I just feel like odds are high it's something useful.
I don't know how you sixth sense that. Like, I'd be checking it, definitely. Especially with the safety invert chance, too.
Well, no, Trixxy's also not going to be checking. We're going for this same route as before, where you go through top floor via the library, which is a cool route, but I just, you know? Both of our runners are playing pretty ambitiously. Oh, Vanilla Diabolus cap. Great pickup. I am potentially... Oh, random Aqua Stream. Wait, Axel, oh my god. Oh, some weird stuff is happening. Okay, so I'm potentially wrong. Maybe these crazy routes are genius. Axel gets a random Aqua Stream from Ordog? Question mark? That's huge.
Oh, he got it from Gargoyle. I'm surprised he didn't get it from the Gargoyle by Kraftwerk.
Okay, so Trixxy should find that too then. And meanwhile, Trixxy gets a Vanilla Diabolus, which is like int +8. Very useful.
Gonna be very helpful with Void Ray. Okay, and at this point, I kind of agree with what Axel's doing. I'm pretty sure he's also checking for accessories, or at the very least going for those books. It's like you said, some of these zip seeds, those books can be really helpful.
Dimension shift. Dimension shift.
Oh, it actually gets the Abyssal Guardian drop. It's a Bolide Blast. That's interesting. Another Hellhound for Axel. So is gonna have access to inverts and at least one book, maybe two, maybe three. That should be enough, right? Void Ray, invert, Chisel Barrage. The no healing is tough, to be sure, but just a ton of MP to work with. I think at that point you go for it. Also, I believe we have poison too, yeah?
I think so. And with Void Ray, yeah, if you can play it safe enough, I feel like you can get through Dom. It's just Veil that's just the scary part to me. But once he sees the invert, that definitely helps, especially with the lava, as long as they invert during that cat head phase.
You know, Trixxy, not that far behind all of a sudden, does have the Zangetsu Toe. Has already done the library stuff. Has Dimension Shift. This could actually be a race here, despite the totally different routes, and Trixxy having a 3-minute deficit to overcome. And you know, this is what's scary about the rando, right? It's like, on paper, you should have plenty of time to go to the library, get some more stuff, but in the back of your mind, you're always thinking, what if this costs me? Maybe I've just got to go to Dominique and play super hot?
Yeah, definitely. Like, that's surprising too. Trixxy caught up on me. I wasn't expecting him to be up so fast.
Oh, yo, sick parry from Axel.
Oh, you love to see it. I think that's definitely my favorite part about the Zangetsuto is that parry is very satisfying to pull off. And can be very helpful too.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a lot of weapon specials in this game are surprisingly useful, which is nice to see. There's invert for Axel. And there's Jeeble for Trixxy. Who's willing to just beeline it to the end of the game? That's what I want to know.
I'm curious too. We are hitting the point where it becomes a question of there's no potions. So are you guys going for some kind of food healing, or are you going straight there and just going for it?
I think we're getting more books from Axel. There's a chance for Trixxy. If Trixxy just goes instantly. I know that Trixxy feels behind. It's possible. Oh, hang on. Whoa, hang on. Yo, this would be insane. The double crazy comeback. Is this in the cards? Oh my god.
I'll go with this.
No, going to the right. False alarm. In fact, where is Trixxy going, I wonder?
If he's thinking, I could see him thinking, there's no healing, I need glasses. / caverns having so many blue chests, I could see him going to caverns to check accessories and blues, but he's also not hitting blues on the way. So I can't be 100%. There's at the very least this accessory check at the beginning, though.
Wrist
Just a
ring.
wrist ring.
That's actually really interesting. That's something where, you know, a lot of runners don't feel comfortable using it because it just tanks your defense. So that's totally understandable. But if you're in a situation where you're in like one-hit kill territory, it's a might as well put it on accessory. So it can be really
That's
helpful.
what I'm thinking. No potions. Like, might as well. But
I wonder what,
it does definitely look like.
No, please go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, okay. It does look like he's fishing for accessories, but is Axel just buying all the ingredients and hoping he can make something?
I was about to ask, yeah, what is Axel, what's he doing in the shop here?
I'm not sure. Don't fall for the trap, Axel. No. Axel's not. I think Axel's about to realize that glasses zoom your screen in.
Oh, the convex glasses, you mean?
So, what
Oh,
will it be?
okay. Hold on.
I'll go with this.
Never mind.
This game's got like
I got
10
him
pairs
mixed
of
up.
glasses.
I was scared he
Yo!
was
I'm
about
just
to
kidding.
zoom his screen in.
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. That would have been hype, though, coming all the way down here behind the waterfall for Jeeble glasses. Sadly, not meant to be. I don't know.
I'm gonna add.
What do you think, Maximus? I mean, what are your thoughts on this Trixxy route here?
So, I can kind of agree with his mindset on the no healing. So let's go for glasses to get the win. But on the other hand, Axel just made a drink, which means he can now essentially buy 99 ethers and just infinite MP until Bale and Dom are no more. And he might be going for that, because that's just as good as glasses.
Wow. Gonna need a lot of money for that, but yeah, good game knowledge on display once again from Axel. You gotta know your crafting tables, your alchemy tables. This is something I personally struggle with. It's a part of the game I'm not as good at, is getting the most out of the shop. I like to just, I see the big number, I buy the thing with the big number and I leave. And if I can't win versus Dominique, I blame myself. But you can really make your life a lot easier by getting better at the crafting side of the game.
Did Axel buy them? I missed it if he bought a bunch of apple juices or not.
Oh, you mentioned the drink. I assume that they had, no?
They crafted one. I didn't, and I saw him selling a bunch. I just didn't see the purchase.
Oh, that might be bad.
Okay, they did. Okay,
Oh, they did.
Blisterina
Okay.
says
Cool.
they
Excellent.
bought a bunch of them. With infinite MP, I could definitely see just going for it. Yeah, he says around 70. I'm pretty sure that's enough, even with Skull Necklace, to just spam Void Ray until the bosses are done, or Chisel.
Dimension shift. Dimension shift.
Do you think maybe with this infinite MP you kill the Silver Wolfmen just to hope for an accelerator? I'd almost be tempted. There's a couple on the way.
Dimension shift. Dimension shift. Dimension shift.
I don't know at this point. I think
Dimension shift.
if I was using Skull Necklace, because I'm not quite sure how much MP that's gonna take, I might at least make sure I have a good stockpile of apple juices, but I probably would try to kill them if I have a quick method.
And you're right, I'd almost forgotten. We had Skull Necklace on the ship. So that plus a lot of easy MP healing is a perfect combo. Oh, that's some mac and cheese. Here's a little tip for everyone. You want to eat that mac and cheese instantly. Like, even in a seed like this one, where healing is limited, it gives you plus 15 to your cap, your MP cap. That's got to be worth it. So I like to just scarf that down right away.
76 apple juices, and he drank the first one, so now he has now doubled his MP restoration.
Well, Axel had some potions from somewhere, maybe brown chests. Those are all gone now. So a decent amount of food healing, actually. And a lot of apple juices, and that's it.
If I were him, I'd definitely be playing it real safe with Void Rays and Skull Necklace. I think at this point.
Dimension shift. Dimension shift. Dimension shift. Dimension shift. Dimension shift. Dimension shift. Dimension shift.
Meanwhile, I think Trixxy's in the shop really trying to find an out for some kind of healing. And I'm not sure if he picked up, I don't think he went Upper Cathedral at all, so he didn't pick up that drinks book either to make apple juice like Axel did.
Oh, speaking of, Axel's got to heal here. I know it sucks that you have to use some of your limited healing, but a death here is going to give Trixxy a chance. Oh, this is so scary.
I think he saved before Veilfar, so it won't be too bad, but yeah, that is...
Oh, good. Okay, I missed that. That's good. Yeah. Yeah, go for this stat up over here. Could be HP. It's MP. Oh, apparently, according to the chat, he did not save. Okay, good heal.
Oh, no.
Jeez.
He's sad. I don't know why he wouldn't have saved. Oh, he's got multiple fried fishes, so he can afford to eat a few.
Could be Jeeble Glasses and Glacial Tomb. All this preparation for nothing.
And this is why, like I said, this is why I go to this warp before I prepare, because you never know.
You know, it makes a ton of sense just in case, and you're gonna have to come back anyway. It doesn't lose like hardly any time, and it can save minutes. So once again, I feel like very well played from Axel, and Trixxy did a nice job making a comeback. However, not quite enough this time. Close, actually. If Trixxy just made a beeline, they could have actually won this one with a perfect endgame. But understandably, you don't want to necessarily go all in with that. And it is not over yet. Bale Dominique, never a foregone conclusion unless you have Jeeble Glasses. And some really good stuff. But in this case, not a foregone conclusion.
And even with pseudo infinite MP with the juice, he could be one really bad Tiz Resign away and have to restart the fight.
Yeah, that laser
And
beam does
Trixxy's now going
roughly
into Den.
like 200 to 300 damage a pop. It's rough. Oh my god, we're seeing Hellhound?
I don't know. I mean, 70 potions, but I don't know if I'd be that excessive. Because you have to drink every time you cast.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. I think the menu time makes it not worth it.
I think
I'd be
Void
going,
Ray's
I'd be going,
faster.
yeah, Void Ray here. Aqua Stream's okay too, but Dominique does resist slightly.
I think Void Ray wins here. Yeah. Because he's going to give her a lot more time to hit him. And has to stay close and get hit with risk getting elbowed.
Here comes Trixxy. Two deaths, and I think Trixxy is caught up.
Oh, I like that parry. So she's in phase 2 now. We're doing good on the apple juices. So I think he's set if he beats Dom, but yeah, I think Void Ray would make this a whole lot smoother.
Yo, this is actually so nerve-wracking for Axel. You can just see Trixxy slowly approaching. Oh no, there's death number 1. Here comes Trixxy. Here comes Trixxy.
Yeah,
with the cool anime sword. Oh jeez.
I really hope he realizes he's got Void Ray.
Now the biggest mistake here would be second guessing yourself and leaving to quote unquote find more stuff. You don't need more stuff. What you need is Void Ray. You gotta put that on.
Please put Void Ray on. Oh, I think he's going in again with Aqua Stream.
Or honestly, barring that, oh that's some, is that risk ring damage? That might be risk ring damage. Don't forget about poison.
He just put on Skull Necklace.
Oh, that's actually a fine compromise too, yeah. Actually, was it, I think it was Trixxy who got the risk ring, right? Not Axel?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
because it was in the top of the garden room, which
That's-
Axel never went
yeah.
back to grab.
By the way, Trixxy, go to the save. Oh, geez, go to the save.
Oh, he made food. Okay, well, one player has infinite MP, the other has a lot of food.
Oh. Oh, no. Oh, no, here comes Trixxy with the buffet. Axel's got to win. Now. Oh, this is a serious race all of a sudden. I'm a farming skeptic. Personally, I've talked about this often in the past. These are the seeds where farming really proves itself.
Okay.
So Axel's gonna get through this. Oh, hang on. Oh, jeez. 2 fried fish. Make that 1 more fried fish. Okay, look, here's the deal. Here's the scoop for everyone watching right now. Axel has got the lead. Trixxy's coming in with the buffet. Axel has to win on Bale first try, or Trixxy will take this one guaranteed. It all comes down to this.
And it's all because Axel didn't want to use Void Ray. That's so crazy. But at this point, Aquastream should melt Bale as long as he survives long enough to do it.
True. However, that is worst RNG, and we have a hit already. No healing. 447 HP on the board. Here comes Trixxy, using the anime sword special. Another hit, 204 HP. Excellent damage. Plenty of juice left. Good dodge, that was a close one. Oh, here come the bubbles. Oh, this is so scary. There's one hit. Anything will kill. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh my God. Time. That was like 5 frames away. That bubble was creeping up. Huge win for Axel.
So it's such a nerve-wracking run. Oh my gosh.
Bloodstained is so sick. And yeah, Trixxy not that far behind. An excellent race. Whew. We're going to have to do some post-game comms for sure. Maximus, I don't want to keep you too long. I know it's super late. Are you down to stick around for some questions?
Yeah, we gotta hear some of this.
Fantastic. Oh, interesting. Trixxy getting taken by surprise against Dominique. That can happen, right? Dominique's capable of combos, etc. All right, so here we go. We are now joined by Axel, the winner of Game 2. Hello, Axel. Welcome.
It's like apple juice.
I don't even know where to begin. Basically, in a nutshell, if you had died there, if that final bubble had connected, Trixxy would have won this one. It was an insane race. How'd you feel about it?
That was very nerve-wracking. So I'm like, oh crap. I am not good at Dominique with low HP and without a lot of overpowered stuff.
Sorry about that, I just wanted to get some music going in the background. Hopefully it's not too loud. But yeah, it was a really interesting set. So you had the lead in both games. Trixxy had an unfortunate reset because of a crash at the start of Game 2. And then Game 1, you had some fantastic execution with Graham and some really good farms. Tell me about the cow situation, Game number 1. Didn't go for the farm.
I was like, oh crap. I have to do Desert and the other labs and all that. I don't remember which one has purple shards. And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, let me go kill off the cow, and then I forgot all about it.
Yeah, this game's very complicated, a lot to keep track of. Maximus, any questions here for Axel?
I'm not sure. Like, I know that last Dom, we were commenting on it too. It was like, did you forget you had Void Ray in your back pocket there?
No, I just thought Aqua Stream was better. Like I said, I'm not really good with like lowest strats against Dominique.
Well, I can tell you, it looks like Trixxy actually has forgotten about Void Ray. I'd really expect to see that at this point. Oh, that was a sick anime sword dodge, though. Never mind.
Wow.
Style points.
But
yeah, overall, Axel,
resists.
you know, we were saying, you know, I don't think I've had a chance to race against you in the past, and we were both very impressed by your execution. Can you tell me a little bit about your experience with Ritual of the Night? Is this a game you played when it came out, or you got into it recently?
I played it a little bit when it came out, and then when the randomizer came out, my first thought is, what? An official randomizer? Instead of the roguelike that they promised. Take it! So, I had played it on like a friend's console, so I decided I'm gonna buy it on PC, and all of a sudden, I played like 70 plus seeds. I don't know if you guys like saw it on the stream when I was in the files select screen.
Well, how have you enjoyed your time with the randomizers so far?
I did like it. I mean, it's gotten me to play it so much to the point where if I have a slow day at work, or before when I had a slow day at work and I was working from home, just pop in the randomizer. I could kill off an hour or two.
I know what you mean. It's kind of a comfort game, you know? After you've played it quite a bit. It's easy to pop it open and just go through a rando seed. Although, on that note...
I've never done like any of the racing stuff though. I've always been like more casual. So whenever I play, it's like randomize everything and throw on hard mode and just go crazy.
Yeah, more chaotic settings, right? As opposed to something more tournament focused here. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, you're doing a great job so far. Obviously, on the verge of moving on to the next round. Any thoughts on game number 3? I mean, so seed number 1. I described this as a comfort game, but seed number 1 was pretty brutal. Very long, almost a full clear. And then seed number 2, a tough zip seed. What are you expecting game 3? How are you going to prepare?
Mentally, I'm going to be like, okay, just forget what happened in game 1 and don't forget the cow this time.
So quick update here. It looks like Trixxy using Bolide Blast. This is going to be kind of a long bail. So I think we got some time. Maximus, any final questions here?
In game 1, did Trixxy happen to get standstill? Or was I like just, let me just try it and see if I get like accelerator or something?
Yeah, I don't think... that route we were talking about, you had some unusual but very effective routing decisions in the first game. Stuff like going to train just to see. Because, yeah, odds of accelerator at that point I think were 1 in 7. But standstill was a nice backup prize.
Yeah, my first thought was, okay, Jibo glasses, Graham, I have movement. If I can get accelerator, then even better. If I get standstill, then Bale is easy. I just gotta get past Dominique. And with Jibo glasses, Dominique is not that difficult.
You know, it's really incredible. Bale is not being kind to Trixxy.
Yeah.
And yet...
It seems like he has the healing items.
Yeah, exactly. It shows you the power of farming. If you get reliable healing, man, even with some bad patterns, you've got plenty of room to work with. Like, we're not even close to being out of food yet. Hoping for a frog, please type frog in the chat, or post a frog emotes to give Trixxy some good RNG.
Yeah, and you getting those apple juices was huge.
Oops,
So,
not enough frogs, it's cat. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
When I started, like, some of the same type shuffle seeds that you've kind of been doing, my first thing when I was getting near the end was, why don't I just, like, buy the food and, like, see if I can make anything?
This is the most Trixxy thing I have ever... It's not even that bad.
He just burned all his MP on anime. Oh, man.
It's really good, and it's iframes.
But no, I agree with you, Axel. I think that's the biggest struggle everyone's had when we converted to shop rando, but also, you know, not doing chaos, is there is definitely a lack of food, and that can be a big deal.
during that game too, I was also kind of like cursing myself a little bit, like, oh, I did not check that stupid portrait before Zangetsu, and then I'm like, gotta do the walk of shame.
Oh, you mean the warp room? Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, and then I'm like, even if I go straight to Dominique now, I'm gonna get my butt kicked. Let's go to the library. I'll just kill a few extra fights. Maybe I'll find a good blue shard off the library blue shard enemy whose name I keep forgetting. Oh, Rosha, that's it.
And Rolsha had something not good, right?
It was either Sacred Shade or... Yeah, I think it was Sacred Shade.
Yeah, it sounds right.
So
yeah.
it was vanilla.
I'm thinking it's one, maybe 2 cycles here for Trixxy. Are we gonna get more anime? We're getting anime. Here it goes.
You know, I like that he's committed.
Wait, did Trixie also get the apple juice, or...?
No.
No. But he did.
Oh.
He farmed Dula Hammers early, and we were wondering why. But he actually used the sea urchins from them and the soy sauce he found in a blue chest to make a bunch of uni rice bowls.
Oh,
So
what
while
was
you
the
had
soy
apple
sauce?
juice, he had healing. Blue chests have a chance of giving it depending on the zone you're in.
Oh.
So that and like finding Howlite can be very luck based at times.
If only I had the uni rice bowls, I would have not died to Dominique, and I did. Although, I was like really scared at that, and I'm like, just go for it. Hopefully, I'll dodge in time if I have to. And then all of a sudden, I saw the freeze. I'm like, please tell me, okay, level up. I did it.
No, I gotta tell you, here in the States, it's hang on, Frog. It's 4:30 in the morning. This is some late night EU Ritual of the Night action. Do you think we could go to bed? Can we call it here? Will people be upset if we wait until next time for the Trixxy interview? I'll tell you what, if Frog cooperates and we get a kill here, we're doing the interview, otherwise I'm going to cut stream. It all comes down to this.
Well, 3:30. It was a very good time though, definitely. You guys were wild cards in how you guys raced and the decisions you guys made. Some were unorthodox, and it was very cool to see how your routing worked out.
Yeah, very excited for Game 3. I think it's going to be a hot one. Okay, I suppose we'll get Trixxy in. GG's to Trixxy. Thanks, Mr. Frog. Hang on, here we go.
I already got my...
Yo, what's up, Trixxy? We're going to speed run this interview because it's just so late. Amazing set. Please tell me how you feel like you did.
I think I played well. I may have, how can I say, lost a little bit on gambles, on farming. But some farms are good, some farms are not, but that's just like the nature of the run. Yeah, I think I played well. I could have played more optimally, that's for sure. And been a little more brave going into Jeeble and, no, not Jeeble, into Gremory, what's the name? Dominique and Vale, second seed. Yeah. I could have been a bit more brave there and taken it, but I feel I played well. Good seeds, by the way.
Yeah. I don't say you had really rough farms, but you did a great job catching up both races.
Yep. I mean, yeah, that's like, if your farms are going to be rough, you have to put in the skill to catch up.
Oh, right, that reminds me. Trixxy, what happened in game number 2? There was some kind of a crash. We were expecting it was like a console thing.
I crashed in that room on the boat. That's why I deliberately saved 2 rooms before. It's been happening a lot now in practice. I specifically made that little this has never happened before screen for that exact moment in case it happens.
Wow.
So, yeah. Game is jank.
Yeah, I've never run into that on PC. That might be more common on console. Very sorry to hear about that. Hopefully not a problem for game 3, but okay, there's the answer.
Yeah, all
What
good.
are you
I mean,
playing on?
I'm playing on PC. I'm playing on a fight stick if that's the...
Oh, you are playing on PC?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
would,
weird.
If that crash keeps happening there, I would recommend, if you're on Steam, I'd say to do the verify files, because that might fix
That's
that.
exactly what I did. And
Oh.
yeah, it turns out it happens again.
Oh, I don't know, man.
Okay, so an incredible, incredible Trixxy comeback game number 1. Almost happened game 2, but Axel able to hold on with a truly clutch final boss kill. Please do go back and watch that if you're curious. It was an insane,
yeah.
like, photo finish. But yeah, any final thoughts here? We'll have game 3 probably within the next few days.
Final thoughts. Practicing jump storage. I think among the top runners in this bracket, practicing jump storage to get across the warhorse gap in the garden might be a key to good routing that can be like a 20-minute difference between people's seeds.
You're talking about with like the kung
That's
fu
the one.
shoes you just kick across?
Yeah. And the tournament legal version of that, of course.
Right. Yeah, jump kicks are banned, but that part's totally legal. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, well.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, it's going to be a great one. Everyone, make sure you tune in for game number 3. All info will be found on the Discord. Let me go ahead and link that in the Twitch chat now. Please do hop in here. Thank you all very much for joining us for such a late event, and we'll catch you in the next one. Take care, everybody.